Hey, gorgeous Black Queen. Nobody hands you a manual for dressing after 50. What you get instead is silence from an industry that has spent decades designing as though you do not exist, and a slow, quiet accumulation of habits that were never really serving you in the first place. By the time most women realize something is off, they have been dressing the same way for 15 years. And the frustrating part is not that the clothes are wrong, it is that nobody ever told them what right actually looks like. Here is what Melanin Majesty exists to tell you directly, because it needs to be said plainly. The women you see who walk into rooms and immediately shift the energy are not doing it with expensive labels. They are not doing it with a certain body type or a certain age. They are doing it with knowledge, specific, intentional, deeply practical knowledge about 5 things that most women were simply never taught. That is what we are covering today. 5 style swaps that are not about trends, not about budget, and not about trying to look like someone you are not. These are about looking like the fullest, most powerful version of who you already are, because that woman is not emerging. She is already here. She simply deserves clothes that know how to say so. Everything I'm about to share works specifically and beautifully on Black women over 50 and 60, on rich, deep, melanin-blessed skin, on bodies that have carried full lives and deserve to be dressed accordingly. If you have ever stood in front of your wardrobe feeling like something is missing and you cannot name what, this is the video that names it. Stay with me. Every single swap is going to matter to you. Swap 1. Replace the oversized blazer with a precisely fitted single-button jacket. Let us begin here, because this is the swap that surprises women the most, and also the one that produces the most immediate and visible result. The oversized blazer became a staple for a reason. It felt safe, it covered things, it communicated a kind of relaxed authority that felt appropriate and unfussy. And for a season or two, it delivered on all of that. But here is what it has been quietly doing to your silhouette that nobody pointed out, and once you see it, you will not be able to unsee it. An oversized blazer hangs away from your body, and fabric that hangs away from your body creates volume where your body actually is not. The shoulder seams slide past your actual shoulders, the chest closes with excess fabric that folds and bunches, the hem hits somewhere in the mid-hip, creating a horizontal line right across the widest part of your silhouette. And the overall effect is not relaxed authority, it is a visual confusion. The eye cannot read your actual shape, so it reads the shape of the fabric instead, and that shape is always wider, always softer, and always less intentional than the woman wearing it. Now, I want to be absolutely clear about something. We are not going to tell you that fitted means tight. Fitted does not mean tight. Fitted means the garment knows where your body is. A single-button jacket, well fitted, is one of the most architecturally precise things a woman can put on her body. When the shoulder seam sits exactly at the edge of your actual shoulder, when the jacket closes at the natural waist with one clean button, when the hem falls at the high hip without gathering, what happens is transformational. Your body becomes its own structure. The jacket does not impose a shape on you, it reveals the shape you already have. The single-button silhouette creates a long, uninterrupted V-line from shoulder to waist to hip. In the language of visual proportion, a V-line moving downward toward the center of your body does the same thing as a cathedral ceiling does to a room. It draws the eye upward and inward simultaneously. It creates the impression of height, of elegance, of deliberate architecture. Your shoulders appear broader in the most regal sense. Your waist appears defined. Your entire upper body reads as composed and completely in control. This matters in a particular way for Black women, and I want to name that directly. On deeper skin tones, a well-fitted dark jacket in a quality fabric does something extraordinary. The jacket becomes a frame, and within that frame, your face, your neck, your jawline, your presence, all become the art. The contrast between a richly colored, precisely cut jacket and deep melanin-rich skin is something you do not see in fashion catalogs nearly enough, but it is one of the most visually commanding combinations that exists, and it belongs to you. The fabric matters enormously here. Look for a ponte knit, a structured crepe, or a fine wool blend. Avoid anything with a stiff lining that resists your movement. The jacket should move with you, not around you. In deep burgundy, rich forest green, or classic navy, a single button jacket becomes the piece around which an entire wardrobe rotates. Pair it with wide-legged trousers and pointed flats for boardroom authority. Pair it with dark denim and a silk blouse for effortless evening elegance. The jacket does not just complete an outfit, it completes the statement you are making about who you are when you walk through the door. Go and try one on before you decide this conversation does not apply to you. Find a single button jacket in a quality fabric. Have the shoulder seam sit precisely at the edge of your actual shoulder. Button it at the natural waist and then step back and look at yourself from 6 feet away in the mirror. 6 feet is how the world sees you when you arrive somewhere. From that distance, you will see a woman who looks expensive, intentional, and completely at home in her own power. The oversized blazer was a comfort decision that accidentally became a style decision. The single button jacket proves you never had to choose between the two.
Swap 2. Replace flat, matte black fabrics with deep jewel tones in fabric that catches light. This swap feels counterintuitive to many women, and I understand why. Black feels like the safe answer. It feels like the sophisticated answer. And for women with deeper skin tones, there is often a well-intentioned but quietly limiting belief that black is the most flattering option because it does not compete with the skin. That belief has been costing you your full visual power, and today we are going to dismantle it completely. Here is the visual truth that changes everything. On deep, rich, melanin-blessed skin, flat, matte black does something that feels like an erasure, because dark fabric and dark skin in the same flat, matte finish create a kind of tonal blending that reduces visual contrast. Your face, your neck, the beauty of your skin, all of it competes with the fabric for the eye's attention, rather than being lifted by it. The result, despite how polished black can feel in theory, is often a look that is quietly dimming rather than amplifying the woman wearing it. Now here is what a jewel tone does instead. A deep emerald, a saturated sapphire, a rich plum that borders on aubergine, a warm deep terracotta. These colors do something flat matte black simply cannot. They create luminous contrast against deeper skin tones. They pull the eye to the clothing, which then frames the face, which then becomes the focal point of everything you are wearing. On melanin-rich skin, these colors do not just work, they were made for this skin. The depth and saturation of a true jewel tone mirrors and celebrates the depth and richness of the skin wearing it in a way that feels harmonious rather than competing. But the color is only half of this swap. The fabric is the other half, and the two must work together. A jewel tone in a flat, matte fabric delivers about 40% of the impact I am describing. A jewel tone in a fabric that moves and catches light, a silk charmeuse, a satin back crepe, a fine ponte with a subtle sheen, delivers the full effect. The reason is simple. When fabric catches light, it creates depth, and depth is what separates a look that is beautiful from a look that stops a room. I hear from women regularly that they feel self-conscious in bright or saturated color, that they worry it is too much, that they have spent years believing they should be quieter, more neutral, more contained.
And every single time when I walk through precisely why jewel tones are working against that fear rather than confirming it, there is a moment of recognition. Because the truth is, it is not the color that feels like too much, it is a lifetime of being told to take up less space. And the jewel tone, in the right fabric, is simply your body's way of refusing that instruction. Start with one piece, a jewel-toned silk blouse in deep sapphire, a structured ponte top in rich plum, a flowing crepe shell in forest emerald. Wear it against your skin, near your face, where the contrast and the luminosity can do their full work. Then watch how the room responds, and more importantly, notice how you respond to your own reflection. Because there is a difference between a woman dressed and a woman lit from within. The jewel tone in a light-catching fabric is not an accessory to your presence, it is the architecture of it.
Swap 3. Replace chunky low heel with a sculptural block heel or quality leather mule. Comfort footwear for women over 50 has been packaged and sold as a single category, and that packaging has been doing enormous damage to the overall intention and polish of your look. The chunky low heel, the wide rubber-soled walking shoe dressed up as a flat, the thick-soled loafer that prioritizes cushioning over line. These are shoes that were designed primarily to protect your feet, and there is nothing wrong with that as a function. The problem is that they have been marketed as stylish simultaneously, and style and function are not always the same conversation. Here is what the chunky low heel does to your silhouette from the ground up. The thick, wide sole adds visual weight at the base of your body, and visual weight at the base of the body creates a kind of grounding effect that reads not as stability but as heaviness. The leg line terminates in bulk. The overall impression is one of weight being added downward rather than the eye being invited to travel upward. After all the intentionality of what you have put on the rest of your body, a chunky low heel quietly cancels it from the ankle down. The sculptural block heel does something fundamentally different. A block heel that is clean, precisely shaped, and integrated into a sleek shoe silhouette adds the same stability and the same ease of walking, but the visual language is entirely changed. The heel has a shape that the eye reads as intentional, designed, considered. The sole is narrow enough that the leg line extends cleanly into the shoe. The overall effect is a foot that looks dressed, rather than accommodated. And a foot that looks dressed elevates every single thing above it. The quality leather mule achieves this differently but equally powerfully. A mule with a low, clean heel and a pointed or squared-off toe in a quality leather or suede creates a line at the foot that is both open and deliberate. The open back of the mule actually contributes to the length of the leg line by reducing the visual mass at the heel. And in a warm, neutral leather, a cognac or a tan or a deep burgundy, the mule speaks the same warm visual language as deeper skin tones in exactly the way we discussed in our conversation about color. It extends rather than interrupts. It completes the line rather than stopping it. I want to say something clearly about comfort before we move on. The sculptural block heel and the quality leather mule are not shoes that require suffering. A 2-inch block heel on a quality shoe with a cushioned insole is something most women can walk in comfortably for hours. The difference between comfortable and stylishly comfortable is almost always not the height of the heel, it is the quality of the construction and the fit of the shoe. A well-made shoe fits your foot, does not compress it, and supports your weight properly. That shoe can be elegant and comfortable simultaneously. The chunky walking heel solves a comfort problem by creating a style problem. The sculptural block heel solves both problems at once. In deep cognac leather, mahogany suede, or a rich cream, a clean block heel mule or pointed flat becomes one of the most hard-working pieces you own. It moves from dark, straight-leg denim to wide-leg trousers to a midi dress without effort and without apology. It is the shoe that makes the entire outfit more expensive without changing a single other thing. And at every step you take, into every room you enter, it tells the floor and everything above it, that the woman wearing this shoe made every single decision about her appearance on purpose. Swap 4. Replace delicate, dainty jewelry with statement earrings in warm gold. There is a moment in every woman's style journey where jewelry becomes the afterthought, where the watch goes on because it always goes on, and the small gold stud earrings go on because they have always been there. And none of it is wrong exactly, but none of it is doing what jewelry is actually capable of doing for you either. Small, delicate earring on a woman over 50 is not understated elegance. It is a missed opportunity of considerable and completely unnecessary magnitude. Here's the truth about what jewelry does and does not do near your face. A small, delicate earring at the ear is simply too far from your face to create the frame it is trying to create. The eye has to travel to find it, and by the time it does, it has already passed your cheekbones, your jawline, your eyes, the things the earring was supposed to highlight, without the benefit of the contrast and structure the earring was supposed to provide. Small earrings do not frame the face, they decorate the earlobe. Those are two very different functions, and only one of them is doing real work for you. A statement earring, a drop earring with weight and presence, a hoop with real diameter and real warmth, a sculptural ear jacket that catches light at the jaw and cheekbone. And on melanin-rich skin, warm gold, specifically, does something that silver and cool-toned metals simply do not replicate. Warm gold against deep skin creates a resonance, a harmony between the metal and the skin that amplifies both simultaneously. The gold looks richer against your skin. Your skin looks more luminous against the gold. Neither is diminishing the other. They are in conversation, and the conversation is extraordinary. I am not talking about costume jewelry or anything that feels performative or uncomfortable. I am talking about one pair of earrings with presence, a sculptural drop in warm brushed gold, a wide hoop in a yellow gold that catches light, a long architectural bar that falls to just above the shoulder and moves when you move. These are not statement earrings in the sense of loud or costume or trying too hard. These are statement earrings in the sense that they make a statement about intentionality. They say that every detail of this look, from the silhouette to the shoe to the jewelry at the jaw, was chosen. The investment case for one pair of excellent statement earrings is one of the strongest in fashion. One pair of quality gold drop earrings can be worn with a white boat neck and dark trousers for a look that is complete and unmistakably expensive, with a jewel-toned silk blouse and a fitted jacket for maximum authority, with a simple wrap dress for weekend elegance that requires zero effort to construct. A single pair of earrings with genuine presence replaces 5 different small earrings that are each individually failing to do the job. It is not more jewelry, it is better jewelry deployed with full intention. The next time you are putting on a look that feels almost right but not quite there, try swapping whatever small earring you are wearing for the largest, warmest gold earring you own. Step back and look. Notice where the eye goes first. Notice what happens to your face within that frame. Notice how the entire look shifts its weight upward, toward you, toward your face, toward your features, which is precisely where attention was meant to be the entire time. The small earring was keeping you a secret. The statement gold earring introduces you to every room. Swap 5. Replace printed, busy fabrics with a tonal, textured, monochromatic look. We have arrived at the final swap, and I have positioned it here deliberately, because this is the shift that makes everything else we have talked about today work at its highest level. You can have the fitted jacket, the jewel tone, the sculptural heel, the gold statement earring, and still undercut all of it with one decision in the fabric department. And that decision is choosing pattern and print where texture and tone would serve you infinitely more completely. Printed fabric is one of the most widely used tools in fashion for a reason. Pattern draws the eye. It creates visual interest instantly. And for decades, women have been told that print is the solution to adding personality to their wardrobe. But print does something in addition to creating visual interest that rarely gets discussed directly, and it is the thing I most need you to understand. Print breaks the body into sections. The eye follows the print, not the silhouette. It moves across the pattern horizontally, vertically, diagonally, wherever the print leads. And in following the print, the eye loses the long, continuous, elegant line of the body underneath it. The silhouette you have worked to construct with your trouser length and your jacket fit and your heel height is being interrupted and divided by a pattern that is drawing the eye in every direction simultaneously. A tonal, monochromatic look does the absolute opposite of every single thing the busy print is doing. When your top, your trouser, and your layering piece are all operating within the same color family, the eye reads the entire body as one continuous, unbroken column. There are no horizontal interruptions. There are no visual divisions. Just one long, deliberate, fully intentional vertical sweep from shoulder to floor that the eye reads as height, as elegance, as the kind of effortless polish that makes women stop you in hallways to ask what you are wearing. And here is where texture enters the equation, because a tonal, monochromatic look without texture risks reading as flat and uninteresting. Texture is the solution that gives you depth and dimension without breaking the line. A silk blouse in deep camel under a matte crepe jacket in the same camel family, wide-leg trousers in a fine ribbed knit in warm chocolate paired with a satin finish shell in cognac, a long line duster in ivory linen over a fine gauge ivory knit. The tones relate, the eye travels the full vertical line, but within that line, the different textures create a richness and a visual complexity that is sophisticated rather than simple. This principle has particular power for Black women, and I want to be specific about why. On deeper, richer skin tones, a tonal look in warm neutrals, deep creams, rich camels, warm chocolates creates a visual environment in which your skin becomes the most vivid, most present element of the entire composition. Rather than competing with a busy pattern, your skin tone sits at the center of the look as its most luminous and singular detail. You are not dressing around your skin, you are dressing to let your skin lead. And that, in the language of style, is the highest form of intentionality. The tonal, monochromatic approach is also the single most effective wardrobe strategy for appearing wealthier than the price tags on your clothes. Expensive women do not wear expensive brands. They wear clothes in which every element speaks the same color language. Every texture is chosen in relation to the next one, and every detail communicates that this was not assembled, this was composed. That distinction between assembled and composed is felt by every person in every room you enter, even by people who could not articulate a single reason why. Start with one complete tonal look: a rich chocolate trouser, a warm cognac silk shell, a caramel open duster, or a deep navy fitted jacket, navy straight-leg trousers, and a pale blue boat neck blouse that moves the tone toward the lighter end without breaking the family. Wear the look and pay close attention to what happens, not just in the mirror, but in the world. Notice who looks twice. Notice what they say and what they cannot quite say. Notice your own posture shifts when your entire look is speaking one clear, coherent, magnificently intentional language. The busy print was adding visual noise in the name of personality. The tonal, textured, monochromatic look reveals that your personality does not need the noise. It was always the most interesting thing in the room. It simply needed the right visual environment to let that be seen.
5 swaps. That is everything, laid out in full. Replace the oversized blazer with a precisely fitted single-button jacket. Replace flat, matte black fabrics with deep jewel tones that catch light. Replace chunky low heels with a sculptural block heel or quality leather mule. Replace small, delicate jewelry with statement earrings in warm gold. And replace busy printed fabrics with a tonal, textured, monochromatic look that lets you lead. You do not have to begin all 5 at once, and I would gently encourage you not to. What I want you to do instead is sit quietly for a moment after this video ends and ask yourself one honest question. Of the 5 things I just described, which one do I already know in my body is true? Not which one is easiest, not which one is cheapest, which one landed somewhere deep and said, yes, that is what I have been missing. Start there. Make that one change. Then come back and tell me in the comments exactly what shifted, what you felt when you looked in the mirror, what someone said to you that they had never said before, what you noticed about how you walked into the next room. I want every single detail, because Melanin Majesty is not a channel that broadcasts at you. It is a community that builds itself from real women telling the truth about real moments of transformation. And there is nothing more powerful than that kind of honesty shared openly. If you are not yet subscribed, this is your moment. Join us here, because what is coming next is going deeper into the art of color for darker skin tones, into the specific fabrics that photograph beautifully on us, into the kind of wardrobe clarity that does not just change how you look, but changes how you move through the world entirely. You were not built to be background in any room. You were built to be the reason people remember the room existed. Your clothes simply need to know that. Now they do. I will see you in the next one.